Yeah, welcome back to AWS DevOps Logistic YouTube channel. Yeah, please kindly share my channel, like and subscribe, and please share entire Kubernetes series, Docker, Linux, shell scripting, and AWS into your communities, DevOps communities. Okay, so it will be helpful for someone. If there is any kind of doubts, so I'll personally will connect and we'll discuss in about any doubt related to doubts. Okay, that's all. Okay, let's get into topic today. Let me share my screen. Good morning, guys.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, is it visible? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, yes.
yeah. Today we are going to discuss about security. Okay, so last time we have seen secrets, right? What is secret? So Yashwant, I think you are there. Secrets. We have discussed about secrets,
Yes, sir.
right? We have done some kind of, we created some
Yes,
pods
sir.
related to secrets, right? What is the difference between secrets and security? What is the meaning of it in general terms? Just
Like secret in the sense we will
yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please. Hello.
hello. I'm audible, sir.
Yeah, yeah, you are audible. Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Security means we will secure the network, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Secret in the sense it's we are keeping our keys, tokens, passwords in secret. Okay, as you know, it's keys. Okay, one second. So yeah, security in the sense it is entire the system you have to secure. If you want to secure, so all your comes under all your system comes under security. Okay, keys comes under keys and all will come. One second, guys. Okay, fine. Okay, so yeah, I hope you understood this two a small difference. Kubernetes being the go to the platform for hosting production and grid applications, security is of prime concern. Okay, so today's session we will look at the various security primitives in Kubernetes at high level. Okay, before diving very deep into these in the upcoming classes, let's begin with the host, the cluster itself, of course, right? So all access to these hosts must be secure. Okay, so clusters, okay, nodes, okay, pods, all must be secure, right? So all access to these hosts must be secure. Route access disabled, password based authentication disabled, and all SSH key based authentication to be made available. Okay, so any other measures you need to take secure your physical or virtual infrastructure at that host. Okay, so Kubernetes, right? Host in Kubernetes. So if that is com- compromised, everything is compromised, right? If security compromised, what will happen? For example, if you compromised its security, for example, I built some application, okay, that is running but no secure. So what will happen? So it will be not secure. Someone will come and theft your code, or they will hack your code. So if you compromised with security, definitely you should lose everything, right? Our focus is in this class is more Kubernetes related securities. Okay, so what is the risk and what measures do you need to take to secure the cluster? Okay, as we have seen already, right? The kube API server is the cluster center of the all operations within the Kubernetes. We instinct with it through the kube control utility, or by accessing the API directly, and through that you can perform almost any operation on the cluster. So that's the first line of defense, controlling access API server itself. So we need to make two types of decisions: who can access the cluster, and what can they do. Okay, so who can access API server is defined by the authentication mechanisms, right? So two types of decisions we can do: who can access the cluster, okay, so what they do; who can access API server, what authentication mechanisms we have. So there are different ways that you can authenticate to the API server, starting with the user ID and password stored in static files, or token certificates, password like that, or even integration with external authentication providers. Okay, for machines we create services accounts. We will look at those in more detail in the upcoming classes. Okay, so this is a big topic, guys. There are a lot of things involved. RBAC is available, right? you know role based access controls, security secrets, TLS. So there are different ways to protect your know Kubernetes clusters. So once again, access to the cluster, what can do is defined by authentication mechanisms. Authentication is implemented using role based access controls, RBAC. It is very very important in Kubernetes, where users are associated to groups with specific permissions. In addition, there are other authentication modules like attribute based access, control based, not authorizers, webhooks, etc., etc. A lot of things are there. So we look at all this, okay, in more detail in upcoming classes. Okay, so this is not one class to complete all those things. A lot of things are involved in this. Okay, so all communication with the cluster between various components such as etcd cluster, the cube controllers, managers, schedulers, API servers. Okay, so these are all worker nodes, such as all these things. Okay, we have to protect all. So as well, as these are running on the worker nodes, such as kubelet and kubeproxy is secured using TLS encryption. Just a mind, I'm just repeating this. So running on the nodes, okay, worker nodes, kubelet kubeproxy is secured using TLS encryption. What is TLS? I already asked this question uh, while we are talking about secrets. Hmm? Transferred
Yes,
layer.
sir.
I'm just giving you a hint. TLS is that transfer layer security. Okay, so we have a section entirely for this security, so where we discuss and practice how to set up certificates between the various components. TLS, by using TLS we can set up the certificates. Certificates, what is that certificates? We have seen that last class, last in the sense not last class, long back in secrets. Yashwant, with you only I just made this, right? Sat dot crt
Yes, sir.
certificates. What is the number?
Yes,
What
sir.
is the permission for that? 2048 or 2408? What is that? Do you remember that? So these
No, sir.
certificates are very,
I
very
just
important actually. Binaries. You have seen binaries, right? Certificate binaries.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, certificates, you just created the certificate and we have applied for that, right?
Yes, sir.
So these all comes next upcoming. So we'll discuss, actually we can't discuss all together in one class, okay? So so what about communication between applications within the cluster? Hmm? By default, all pods can access all other pods within the cluster. You can restrict access between, right, between these other pods using network
Yes, sir.
policies, correct? So we will see about network policies as well. Okay, you understood? You can see this, right? So we'll talk about all these things: Kubernetes security primitives, authentication, TLS certificates for user, so for cluster components, secret persistent key value store, authentication, images, and security. Okay, security context and network policies. Okay, so I did not prepared any, see, I did not prepared much about this security, so I'm just collecting from Google and ChatGPT and all those. I'm using a lot of resources. Okay, it doesn't matter, you don't need all this, but ultimately ultimately essentially I need to explain all those things, right? So you have to understand finally, right? So we will look at all exactly what is done later in network policies class. Okay, so that was high level overview of the various security primitives in the Kubernetes. Okay, so authentication, this other authentication we'll talk. Okay, so this is a very big concept, so I need to make a documentation for you. So let's talk about only authentication today. So just to, we have discussed about Kubernetes security primitives and authentication. So try to understand what I am trying to explain. This theoretical, I know that theoretical you can't understand, but try to understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, so yes, in authentication, in Kubernetes cluster, as we have seen already, the Kubernetes cluster consists of multiple nodes. Is it right? So in um, while we are running the cluster, okay, cops management, so we are giving three nodes, right? So that is comes under
Yes,
multiple
sir.
nodes, correct? Three nodes or four nodes, five nodes, it depends upon requirement. So physical or virtual, and various components that work together, correct? So we have users like administrators that access the cluster to perform administrative tasks. Okay, the developers that access the cluster to test or deploy the applications. We have end users who access the applications deployed on the cluster, and we have third party applications accessing the cluster for integration purpose. So if you are involved with, if you really have uh, mingled with the developers, you know all these terminologies, right? throughout this throughout this next security related sessions, so we will discuss how to secure our cluster by securing the communication between the internal components and securing management access to the cluster through authentication and authorization mechanisms. Okay, so our focus is on securing the access to the Kubernetes cluster and with the authentication mechanisms. You understood? So we talked about different users that may be accessing the cluster. Security end users who access the application deployed on the cluster is managed by the applications themselves internally. So we will take them out for the discussion, like guys, we are talking about application. What is the applications? Hmm? So we have seen we are just default use taking just simply we are default we are taking sometimes Nginx. Okay, application see might be application might be web application, might be mobile application, maybe iOS application, anything, maybe Android or iOS or whatever. Maybe if it is related web servers, okay, maybe if it is any kind of application, maybe cloud applications, anything, maybe uh, different bank kind of applications, anything, any application, it doesn't matter, that application will be in pods. Okay, so for that application, you as a Kubernetes administrator, you have to give the proper security. Correct. Our focus is on users to access the Kubernetes cluster administrative purpose. So we are left with the two types of users. Okay, one is humans, other one is robot. Humans in the sense such as administrators and developers. Administrator in the sense you and me. Developers who are writing the code for the application, and robots such as other processes or services or applications. These are all comes under robots. They are not humans, right? Applications. So these requires access to the cluster. Kubernetes does not manage all these things. We have to. Developers and robots such as other processes or services applications that require access to the cluster. Kubernetes does not manage user accounts natively. Kubernetes relies on external resources. Okay, what are the external resources like file with user details or certificates or third party identity services like LDAP to manage these users, and so you cannot create users in the Kubernetes cluster, or so view the list of users like this. So however, in case of service accounts, Kubernetes can manage them. You can create and manage the service accounts using the Kubernetes APIs. Okay, using the Kubernetes API, we have a section on the service accounts. Exclusively we can discuss and practice more about the service accounts. For this session, we will focus on the users in the Kubernetes. All users access is managed by API server. Okay. Okay, so this authentication in the sense looks like this. Okay, so admins, developers, end user. Admins in the sense admin developers is an internal team, right? Our team, your admin and developers will be involved this. We have to provide the securities. Okay, so robot in the sense bots like your applications. Okay, end users who joined, what happened?
Yogesh rejoined, I think.
Okay,
Network issue. So
okay, fine, that's not a big deal. Okay, so accounts will be like this: admin account, developer account. Okay, so bots in the sense in this context, bots in the sense it's a kind of, maybe if it is a server, okay, maybe if it is application, is related. Okay, what are the accounts? Account, developer account. Okay, so these accounts under Cube API server. Okay, so authorization mechanics. Okay, Cube API static password file, these are types: static password file, static token file, certificates, identity service. Okay, so I'll try to make it a big one. So Cube API server is like that. Authentication mechanisms, basic authentication mechanism will be like this: passwords like this. Okay, detailed dot csv in the sense comma separated value dot csv, it will be in the format. Okay, so Cube API server dot service, like this, right? Basic authentication file equal to user-details dot csv. So it will take, this file will be somewhere else, but we will mention it, we will locate it. Okay, then that file it will take. Okay, what how it will take, this will take care by kube server. Okay, so how to write, see this is how, kube server dot service. So this is the path. So in this, if you can see the manifest file, okay, API version, pod, kind pod, metadata, creation, timestamp, null, name, name of the what, pod, namespace, this is default, cube system is means default, specifications, containers and command, this is the command to run. Okay, and image, this is the image they have taken, and we will take other images. Okay, name is called cube API server. Okay, so if you describe, you can see all these things. Okay, 1 second, go. Static password files will be like this. Okay, in the sense password maybe like yesh at the rate dollar 143 something like this. You can give static password file. Static token files, in the sense it is encrypted. Okay, it is encrypted format. Okay, we will create all. Okay, so passwords, see this, I have taken all these things, we'll try to do this later. Correct. So usernames and token in static, right, static files like this, static passwords and static files. So certificates, you know that, crt dot crt format, right? Yashwant, you created already this,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you certificate, using certificates you can authenticate using certificates. And another option is to connect third party authentication protocols, ldap. Example, I know something, Kerberos. I don't know, I'm not pronouncing properly or not. KERBEROS. I don't know. So if you can you able to pronounce this? Kerberos. KERBEROS. These are all third party authentication protocol. So we will look at these next. Okay, if we get chance, we'll discuss about that also. So you can create a list of users and their passwords in CSV file. Okay, these are all list of the files, where CSV, in the sense it's a kind of Excel, but it is in the form of .csv comma separated value. Okay, so the file has three columns: password, username and ID. Password, username, ID. So then pass the file name as option, the cube API server. Okay, this service. Okay, cube API dot service, and the various options we looked all these things, right? So this is a command. Okay, so path it will take. So if you mention like this, hyphen basic hyphen auth file equal to user hyphen details, see this is file name dot csv. So maybe wherever this file will be, so it will take. Okay, it will take from there itself, right? So if you set up the cluster using the kubeadm tool, so then you must modify the api server port definition file. Okay, cube-adm tool will be automatically restart the cube-api server. Okay, once you update the file to authenticate using the basic credentials with while accessing the api server, um, we have to specify the user and password in core command like this. Okay, so this is command, you can answer like this. So you can say, so this is command, we have to mention the command, so it will take. So in the CSV file with the user details, okay, that we saw right here, user details. So we can optionally have fourth column, maybe if you want to keep group details assigned to user specific groups if you want. Okay, instead of static password file, you can have static token file. I've shown somewhere. Yeah, this one, correct. So that's all guys. I think you have to just, I'm just injecting you somewhat about securities. So try to understand what is exactly .csv file, what is exactly static, okay, what is static token file, static password file. Just need to understand these terminologies. Okay, I don't want to go and club all together, so that's why I'm just trying to explain all these things. Okay, so how to write, in the sense we have to write like this manifest file like this: API version v1 kind metadata is, this is all normal common. Okay, namespace you will mention, specification, containers, this is command. Okay, this is command. Only this you have to modify, like basic authentication file equal to user hyphen detail. This is not mandatory, this is file name. If you keep there your file name, it will replaced by your file name .csv. Should format should be .csv, it will be format. Don't give any excel format and word format, it doesn't take. Okay, and image will mention the image, and name is cube-api server. Okay, so now remember, to set up authentication for the new users, you will discuss about moderation measurements soon, like RBACs. So RBAC is most important, this is basic, very basic. Okay, so these are all basic, we'll see. Okay, authentication mechanisms very basic, but in advanced level it is RBAC, role based access controls, based on the roles, like admins, okay, developers, robots, or something, etc., etc., whatever depends upon roles. Role based access control using RBACs will give security. Got it? So this is all about security. So you did not start the cluster, right, Yashwant? I hope you can hear me, Yashwant.
Hello,
Yashwant,
I'm
can you
audible,
hear
sir.
me? Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you are audible now. So can you hear
Your
me now?
voice was breaking, sir. Now,
Oh, so I'm asking, you did not start the cluster,
yeah, yeah.
right?
No, sir. I've changed the name servers. It's almost 1 hour.
Okay, that is not a big deal. So if you start the cluster
Yeah,
only,
I
you'll
just
have a problem. So we'll do one thing.
I should start the cluster.
Let me make no, no, not now, Yashwant. Just
Okay,
hold on.
okay, okay.
So this is not yet completed actually. I'm just gathering the information. I don't have any documentation to show you, and also I need to prepare entire document for the related to security and RBACs related. So let me gather all these things. Once after getting ready, so we'll start working on this practical, like lab hands-on. Okay. So then we'll connect again. So
Okay, sir.
try to, if possible, you um, try to find the information about security as well. Try to understand what kind of security you have, so then you will get a good idea. Okay, and also do continuous practice. Okay, all about what we have discussed earlier. So every component, I am just explaining each individual components, I'm not explaining all clubbing all together, right? So because one by one, step by step, I'm just making you to habituate. So once if you understood about all the components, all the modules, okay, objects, Kubernetes objects. So what are the services we have, all those things, like maybe if you can say object. Okay, so like security, might be security, might be if it is related secrets, might be if it is related deployments. Okay, pods, okay, services, node pods, clusters. Okay, okay, node pod, cluster IPs, okay, endpoints, right? So
Yes.
services, so all these things, one by one we have to learn. You have to get an idea, no need to buy head anything. Just if you get an idea, automatically you will do yourself. So whenever you are required, by using Google, you can build up yourself. So in the application, uh, if you try to build an application, these secrets and security will be very much useful. So that's the reason. So and also, if you, so if you work with the big applications with big clients, so this is a big concept. They will focus on mainly security. You understood? Okay, this is important, very
Yes, sir.
most important topic. Because in foreign countries like New Zealand, Australia, okay, USA, so these kind of countries, uh, Britain, okay, these kind of countries, basically they will focus on the application security. Okay, if the application is in Kubernetes, definitely it is a big concern. So security is a big concern because they have to protect their applications, correct? So that is the reason you are as a Kubernetes administrator, okay, Kubernetes developer, whatever, as a DevOps engineer, if you are dealing with the Kubernetes, so definitely security is a big concern. Okay, right? So that is the reason, just to do more focus on security. So let's discuss in next class about TLS. Okay, this TLS certificates for cluster components. Okay, you understood? So I will let
Yes,
you
sir.
know soon. Maybe if I have enough time today, I will again connect with you. Okay. Until then, you try to uh, make proper notebook. Okay, maintain proper notebook and write theoretical and okay. Also use some practical, whatever we have discussed earlier related to pod services. Okay, deployments. Okay, so all those things you just maintain proper notebook book. Okay, so if you are elder in the sense, so you become elder. So I also completed engineering and I have experience, so I don't want to write in the sense, it doesn't works. Okay, you have to maintain proper notes as you written in the college school level. Same way you have to write, then only you can able to inject everything in your subconscious mind. You understood? So do
Yes,
revision,
sir.
do continuous revision for previous classes. Okay, for Kubernetes, Docker as well. Okay, so it will be helpful
Yes,
in
sir.
future. Definitely you should not give any kind of gaps. Continuous consistency is the matter in the
Yes, sir.
DevOps. Okay, all right. Thank you, Yogesh. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Ishwant. Okay, this is for you too. Okay, I'm not um, I'm not mentioning your name in the sense it's not for you, not, it does not for you.
No, no, I'm not feeling like that, sir.
No, no,
I'm
you're
not
not
feeling
saying.
like that,
I'm
but
just
I
telling that.
want to learn.
I'm just telling that this is for you
Yeah,
both,
okay.
because Yashwant is, I've been traveling with him a long time, so that's why I'm mentioning his name. Okay,
Okay, sir,
if I don't
that's
mention
no
his name,
issue,
also
but
don't think like that. Okay, this is for you also. So I'm telling you both of you. Okay,
okay, sir.
so you are trying to say what?
Sir, I want to talk you something like even being an experienced person, I want to learn in more depth, sir. So that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
we are
initially,
going
I
in
want to
depth.
learn. Yeah, sir, I want to learn initially like Docker and all. If I want to
Mm.
learn Kubernetes, so that's what I'm thinking.
So nowadays I was completely occupied. I'm not getting enough time to take these two classes separately. But
Okay,
if you have enough time, try to go with my site. Okay, my YouTube channel. Better
okay,
try to watch those videos. So wherever you get in doubts, let me know. We'll connect. Else, once if I get enough time, I will connect with you personally and we'll do that. Okay. So I was
okay,
little occupied. Okay, so let me be free. So then From the scratch onwards, I will connect with you. Not a big deal. Okay, I'll try
Okay.
to give my best. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Yogesh, and thank you, Yashwant. We'll connect in next class. I will update you soon. Okay. Thank you
Should
so
I
much.
destroy the cops? Should I destroy the cops
Yeah,
management, sir?
you can do that. Not a big deal. Okay. If you want to do practice,
Okay.
you can keep. Corps management is not a big deal for you. Okay. So if it is corps
Yes,
management,
sir.
you can keep entire day also not a big deal. But if you start the cluster only, you have issue. Okay. So you did not
Yeah.
start the cluster, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you
No, sir.
want to
No.
do
Only cops
practice, you
have
can.
shut sir.
Yeah, not a big deal. Not a big deal with the corps management. That is a
Okay,
very
sir.
small one. And if you want to do practice, you can keep and do the practice continuously. So don't follow me. I'm telling that don't follow one person. Do analysis in different ways. Okay, you understood? So maybe if you have different
Yes, sir.
resources as well, you can take from your different resources, do practice and maintain proper notebook. That should be helpful entire life. Understood? Maintain notebook, that I
Yes,
will
sir.
always suggest you. Okay, you guys, great. Thank you so much. We'll
Yes,
see you in next class.
Yes, sir.
Until then, take care. Bye bye.